Hey there, Leo. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I realized I did your reading, but I started talking about Aquarius because I did Aquarius before you, and I just thought it'd be easier to do another reading. Sorry, I'm trying to reach for something because I'm going to write down, and this is what I usually do. Leo. Leo. I'm doing Leo, so when I look, I won't start doing the previous sign, because that's what I did. All right. I'm having my coffee. Let's go. It's a bummer too because it was a really good reading that you guys had, but I didn't just say Aquarius instead of Leo. I literally started talking about Aquarius, so it really needed to be redone. All right, let's go Leo. Death card. Death card's a good card. Whoops. Nine of Swords. Six of Cups. So what I'm getting already for some of you, and I'm just gonna say things as they come and not worry so much about trying to make a congruent story, because that way more messages will come out. What I'm already getting is that and it's interesting because it is similar to the reading that I screwed up for you guys before. You're really realizing that you have to be more in control of your thoughts. And that in the past you've allowed yourself to, something happens at work, for example, and then the next, 4 days you're up at night, you have insomnia, it's just turning and churning over and over and over and over again in your mind, and you just can't let it go. And then, something else happens, or it finally sort of settles down or gets resolved and you're okay. And then something else happens and your mind starts doing its obsessive worrying. And I know this very well because I do this myself. But one thing that really helped me was to, when something would happen, I'd write it down. Yeah, you do have lots of swords energy, which I think was why I was picking up the Aquarius energy the last time, because you again have a lot of swords on the table. Is this going to matter in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year? And learning to sort of sit with the uncomfortableness, but when you start really, your brain starts circling around and around, just being like, I'm going to think about, okay, I see what you're doing there, brain. You're going to try to get me in this anxiety, worry loop. If it happens in the middle of the night, you can have a pad and pencil next to your bed and get everything out. And sometimes that can be helpful to go back to sleep, or, just really try to have some things to think about ready, be prepared. We can do this with our thoughts just like we can. Okay, if I start thinking about this, I'm going to think about some really recounting the details about some great vacation, because I was in therapy once, and the therapist was like, okay, I want you to look around the room and just start describing the room to me. And she's like, see, when you're occupying your brain like that, it can't be worrying about everything else. So finding a way to occupy your brain with what you want it to be occupied with versus fear-based thinking. And it's going to transform your life, because it's that sort of law of attraction. The way I think of it is that, and this isn't the wish card, but I thought it was the wish card, so I'm going to read it like the wish card as well, is if we have a lot of wishes that come through all the time, that come true all the time. But for example, you're going out shopping, it's a holiday season, it's crazy, and you're like, oh my God, I hope I get a parking space. I hope I get a parking space. I hope I get a parking space. And you get a parking space. And boom, you absolutely, like, the second you park, you're not like, that was a great day. I got a prime parking spot during holiday shopping. It's just like sort of just forgotten. So if you start to remember, oh, I keep getting good parking space, but if you're always like, I never get a good parking space, I never get a good parking space, you're gonna remember what you're gonna remember and attract what you focus on. So anyway, I don't need to keep going off on that. But if you can transform the quality of your thoughts, you can transform your entire life. And the death card comes right down to, next in line is this beautiful Empress, and that's being grounded. So she is Mother Earth, being practical, again, being grounded, staying out of your head, um, enjoying the simple things in life, being satisfied, and I feel like also you guys need to stop pushing yourself so hard. Leo's very driven, very, very driven sign. I just had this horrible feeling that I said another sign. I know I'm doing Leo. um, and this is just like, no, like it's okay that you just, if you want to get up and work out and like pick two other things to do. Like you don't need to reside the garage and for it to be a productive day. Make sure you're spending quality time with people, especially if you have children. Um, and that can be hard. You're sitting around with your kids. My son likes me to watch him what he's done on Minecraft and give me a tour and show me, and like sometimes I'm sitting there and I can feel myself being drawn downstairs. Well, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. And it's like, no, Jen, this is he wants to show you, he wants to share with you, he wants to spend time with you. This is the most important time there is that quality time with people, the people you love. So at the bottom of the deck, you do have the Five of Swords. I feel like there's just someone that and I don't even know if, almost because it's at the bottom of the deck, I don't know if it happened a long time ago and you're just having a really hard time letting it go. Someone who was like, or it could be you. I mean, we're not, the person that sign I'm reading for isn't always the one being wronged. Maybe you were sort of and this can be a Leo thing because you guys are fixed and very strong, fiery personalities. I love Leos. But especially when you're younger, you can be like, I have to be right. I'm a fire sign, very much focused on being right and forgetting like to be successful. So having to have things exactly your way instead of understanding that maybe everyone wants to get to the same place. They just may have a different idea of how to go about it. And it doesn't necessarily is right or wrong. It's just different, and to be more flexible. So it's like either there's still some damage done from that type of attitude, or you're working really hard also to to let go of that, a situation that was like that. And you do have the Six of Swords, so this is what could be a real journey going towards water, but really it's the sword card, which are mental, so it's moving away from this basically moving away from this stressful in having insomnia, stressing, worrying, obsessing about something, moving away from that type of energy. You have Two of Swords too, though. Lots of in your head. Again, I think that's why I was picking up Aquarius when I screwed up your reading before. Really in your head this month. But yeah, it's like you have this shadow side because you have this Five of Pentacles, which is a poverty mentality. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. Worry, worry, worry. I don't have enough. It's like one mantra your brain wants to do. And then this one is like, you have enough. All you need is the love of your family to dig in the dirt, to play with your kids, and to just stay grounded. This is a great card, this Knight of Pentacles, because he he's slow and steady wins the race. He does not need instant gratification, which us fire signs really like. He's willing to put the time and energy and let things develop slowly and just methodically stay after them and not get completely worried if things aren't um, if you don't see the results right off. Like, he's okay with that. He's like, I know I can't save $20,000 in a week. It's just not going to happen. It's going to take years. And so I'm fine with that. I'm just going to keep working on it and being fabulous while I'm doing it. So it's almost like this month, the choice is, are you going to, which wolf will you feed? Are you going to feed the one of fear and worry, or the one of keeping it simple, keeping it grounded, keeping it positive? This Empress in the middle that touches every other card, this is a beautiful new beginning. It's fertility. It's giving birth to something, literally or figuratively. Oh, maybe some of you are about to give birth and are really worried about it. Oh, I can relate to that. You're gonna do great. You just do. I don't know. It's just a mom thing. You're just totally able to handle it. Um, Giving birth to something new, something about, I'm getting gardening really strong. I know in the northern hemisphere it's not really gardening weather, but maybe some of you will start like an inside herb garden, or even try to grow some things inside. I see some of you, I'm sure you've seen those things go around on the internet where you can like regrow celery and from like scraps of food you can regrow it. I see some of you giving that a try. Um, Anything you want, so whatever this is you want to bring about in your life, it's saying to, she nurtures things, she doesn't force things. The Empress doesn't say, oh, you want to be a fill in the blank, you have to do it this way, you have to, and you have to be, here we go back to that. You have to do it every single day, and you have to do it, and it's like, okay, you gotta try to find the balance between that driven Leo energy and allowing things to happen more organically. There's that organic word with the earth. Some of you may be completely changing your diet and going like completely organic or plant-based or something like that. Um, Yeah, transforming your life with that death card. You're transforming though into the Empress, which is just a beautiful energy. So letting go of resentment, letting go of fear, letting go of past issues, forgiving yourself for things that you've done in the past that still keep you up at night. Isn't that amazing how that can happen? 20 years later, I can still be like, oh, I can't believe I did that. What an idiot. And then it's like, here I am reinforcing negative things. It's like, no, you didn't know better. You were young. You learned from the mistake and you do better now. You don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like choosing to focus on the positive. And she's also about self-care. Like, take some salt baths, give yourself a facial, whatever it is that feels comforting to you. Treat yourself well. And also have the self-respect to not insist other people treat you well. If it's not like you're going to try to control other people, you're just going to be like, if someone isn't treating you well, they're not going to you're not going to spend time and energy with that person. Um, that's the way the empress will put up boundaries. The emperor would be like, "You're done. I'm not tolerating this." She's just like, "Okay, I'm just going to let that person go and do their thing, but I'm not going to invite that into my energy." You know what I mean? Like, so really, maybe you can find tons of these on YouTube. Look up like how to protect yourself, um, psychically and energetically. I'm sure there's got to be tons of them. There's all sorts of visualizations you can do, and even some cord cutting to let go of. Even I don't know if this is possible, but I almost see, you know, how you can cut cords with other people, like even cut cords with certain aspects of, I don't know if that's healthy, of yourself, like that resentment towards yourself, you know, the negative parts, like letting that go, like being done with that type of energy in your life. I think that should be okay. I see some of you definitely starting a new health routine, maybe getting into a new type of exercise.